Today in this video we'll learn about Subhash Chandra Bose and his role in the freedom movement. Subhash Chandra Bose, a daring patriot who dared to create the Indian National Army to flee, that means to force the British out of India, played a very important role in the freedom movement. Okay, and he was born in 1897 in Cuttack, that is in Orissa. And he was a talented student of the Kolkata University, and he got selected to the Indian Civil Service. And he also selected, and he got 4th rank, and he got selected also. But he left the service and joined the non-cooperation movement in the year 1921. Okay. And it is also been said that he plunged into the politics due to the influence of Chittaranjan Das. Okay, due to the inspiration of Chittaranjan Das, Subhash Chandra Bose was attracted to the freedom movement. Okay, and he's also been inspired by the life and the work of Swami Vivekananda. Okay, Subhash Chandra Bose also had a very good reverence, that means respect to the Gandhiji, but he opposed his political policies. And due to this differences in the political policies, that he was forced to leave the Congress party. And after he left the Congress party, he founded a Forward Bloc party. Okay. And by this time, that is in the year 1939, the Second World War broke out, and the British kept Subhash Chandra Bose under house arrest due to his radical views. Okay. But Subhash Chandra Bose managed to escape from the house and reached Germany, that means Berlin. Okay, and he reached Berlin through Peshawar, Kabul, that is Afghanistan, and Moscow, that is Russia. Okay, so he reached Berlin, that is Germany, through Kabul and Moscow. Okay, and later on he entered into an agreement with Hitler, that is Nazi ruler of Germany. Okay, so he signed an agreement with Hitler, the enemy of the British, and seek the help of the Hitler in order to help him to push the British out of India. Okay, so later on during this period, Japan had also entered into an world war, and it had arrested, that means around 40,000 Indian soldiers were were taken as a prisoner of war by the Japan. Okay, and most of these were the part of the British army. Okay, and later on it has been said that these imprisoned soldiers were united by the Captain Mohan Singh. Okay, and he formed the Indian National Army. Okay. Initially, this Indian National Army was very small, powerless and insignificant. Later on in the year 1943, Subhash Chandra Bose accepted the leadership of the Indian National Army. Okay, and initially this Indian National Army consisted of the soldiers, that means Indian British soldiers who were occupied by the Japanese in the Singapore War against the British. Okay. So after he accepted the leadership of Indian National Army, he converted, that means he enlarged this Indian National Army by recruiting more and more people from the Burma, Malaya and Singapore. Okay, and it is also been said that he also motivated the civilians of civil Indian in the Singapore, Malaya and Burma to join this Indian National Army. Okay, and now these people of Singapore, Malaya and Burma have become the soldiers of the Indian National Army. Okay, and Subhash Chandra Bose also has given the slogan, that is Delhi Chalo and Jai Hind, and his words like give me blood and I'll give you the freedom is also inspired thousands of people in this region to join the Indian National Army. Okay. Later on, Subhash Chandra Bose also established interim government, that is a provincial interim government in Singapore. Okay, of Free India in 1943. Okay, and Japan also had given the territory, that is Andaman and Nicobar, to this Indian National Army, that is Subhash Chandra Bose, which has to be the territory of Free India or Azad Hind. Okay, so later on this interim government, which had been established by Subhash Chandra Bose at the at Singapore with his troop. He waged a war against the British. That is, he reached up to Burma, that is northeast border, and they hoisted the tricolor flag. But in the later years, the British captured that Burma, and thus they lost it. Okay, so later on it is also been said that the Japan had lost in the Second World War, and this was a major setback to the Subhash Chandra Bose. So Indian National Army failed to achieve its independent political target, but it has played a unique place in the freedom movement. So this is about Subhash Chandra Bose and his role in the freedom movement and Indian National Army. Now we'll know about B.R. Ambedkar and his reforms. B.R. Ambedkar, Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ramji Ambedkar. He is an eminent jurist. Jurist means a lawyer, economist, politician and a social reformer who campaigned against the social discrimination and fought against the untouchability. Okay. And he also supported the right of women and labor also. And he became the first law minister of the independent India, and is also known as the architect of the Indian Constitution. That means he was the first person who framed our constitution, and also the founding father of the Republic of India. In the year 1990, he was honored with Bharat Ratna, the highest civilian award. Okay, so from the beginning to the end of his life, he preached against the caste system and worked for the upliftment of the untouchables, that is downtrodden. Okay, and the work he had done for the eradication of this caste system and the upliftment of the untouchability made his name immortal. Okay, and he also had rendered the legal service to those class, that means to this depressed class, when they could not fight for the injustice done to them. Okay, so Ambedkar, he was born in Maho, that is central province of Madhya Pradesh, father Ramji and mother Bhima Bai, and he had his early education in the local, that is in his native place only, and higher education in Mumbai. And he also has done economics, that is in the London School of Economics, and also he has done his higher studies in PhD, that is doctorate in philosophy, and also he has got a degree in LLD, that is Doctor of Laws. So this is about his education. Independent personality through his self-study. Ambedkar also laid great emphasis on education. For him, education was the weapon wherein it forced the progress of the depressed class. So for this purpose, he established several educational society, and he also opened many schools, colleges in order to provide education to these downtrodden. And he also fought for thousands, that means for the political and the economic rights of the depressed class. And like this, he spent the whole life for the upliftment of this scheduled caste, that is to the depressed class. Okay, and in 1927 he started Satyagraha, that is against untouchability, and also Kalaram temple movement, in order to ensure that the downtrodden, the Dalits, get the right to entry into the temple. Okay, this was fought in the year 1927. And he also attended the Roundtable Conference at London in order to secure the separate rights for this untouchables in the election. So like this, he played his very important role in order to bring the this particular class up in the society. Okay, and he also made several provisions also for the upliftment of this Dalits. And in the fundamental rights, he had proposed a restriction on the citizens who practice this untouchability, and also discrimination on the ground of the on the lower, that means on this particular caste, that means on the basis of the caste. So like this, from the beginning of his life to the end of his life, he had worked for the upliftment of this depressed class. So this is about B.R. Ambedkar and his reforms. Know about Jayaprakash Narayan, who is popularly referred as JPR Lokanayaka. Okay, he is an Indian independence activist, socialist and a political leader. born in 1902 in Bihar, and he was educated at the university in the US. After his return to India in 1929, he completely indulged in the politics, that is, he participated in the Indian National Congress. And in 1932, he was sentenced to imprisonment due to his participation in the civil disobedience movement. I think you all know civil disobedience movement, march launched by Gandhiji against the salt tax, right? And after his release, he took a leading part in the formation of the Socialist Party. Socialist Party is a party or an organization that led the campaign for the Indian independence. It's a left-wing group within the Congress Party. Okay, so after he's been released from the prison due to his participation in the civil disobedience movement, he completely involved in the formation of the Socialist Party. So he is the founder of the Socialist Party and also the general secretary of it also. Okay, and afterwards he led the campaign against that means completely with the help of this Socialist Party, he led the campaign for the Indian independence. Okay. And again in the year 1939, he was imprisoned by the British. And you know, in the year 1939, Second World War was declared. Okay, and he led his opposition. That means he was against the Indians' participation in the Second World War on the side of the Britain. So his opposition to the Indians' participation made the British angry, and thus he was arrested. Okay, after his release, okay, he had taken more military policies against the British rule in India. And he also participated, that means he supported even for the Quit India movement that was launched in the year 1942. Okay, later on, 1948, he with most of the Congress members, they left the Congress Party and they formed a Socialist Party in the year 1952. Okay, soon dissatisfied with the politics, in 1954, he announced that he would completely renounce from the politics and exclusively devote himself to the Bhudhan movement, which was launched by Vinoba Bhave. So Bhudhan movement by Vinoba Bhave, the main objective of this movement is to distribute the land among the landless. Okay, so in 1954 he decided to devote himself for this social work, that is to the Bhudhan movement. Okay, and again in 1974, Jayaprakash Narayan entered into politics again as a severe critic. Okay, and he had raised his voice in the favor of total revolution. That it is a revolution that has been started by the Bihar student. Okay, and as a result of this movement, the Janata Party came to power. And when Janata Party divided into two, further due to the internal friction, okay, Jayaprakash Narayan was left disillusioned. Okay.